All right, let's rock and roll. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that fancy music off. All right, docs, welcome to today's masterclass. I'm very excited to have you here. Hopefully, can you see me? I've got my video up. You should be able to see me. Yes, you should be able to see me because I'm recording that screen. And I'm excited to talk to you guys today. So when docs have profitable practices full of knee patients, the question is, how are they doing it? And I know this is a question that if you're here, you're interested in answering. And I know why you're interested in answering that question, because I talk to docs every single day who are very excited about what they're doing, about how they're helping people. They just want to help more people. And I know it's not just about money. I know money is a big motivator. Nothing wrong with that. But I also know that there's a big, there's a big need for, and specifically for knee patients, there's a big need for folks to have other options available. So today we're going to jump into how this all works. All right. Today's agenda. So what we're going to do today, we're going to go from where you're at today, and I hope to deliver you not only, some, actual ads and things that are working, but also the fundamentals of how this all works. Okay. So you can get, a full picture and really change things in your practice. So we're going to go over the fundamentals of success. Every high revenue knee clinic that I've ever worked with, I've ever seen, has an understanding about how to find patients and how to convert those patients into care. So those are, that's number one. Number two, the 3 stories that will change your practice. Okay. And then number 3, the library of ads. So I'm going to show you how we can flip a switch and get more knee patients in your practice. We're actually going to jump into a library of campaigns proven to be able to produce that outcome, that result. All right. If you don't know me, I know I'm seeing some names here of folks on the call. So I know some of you do know me, but I also know that many of you do not. So my name is Sam Carlson. That is me and my lovely family. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years in this business, helping folks get new patients for 7 years. Okay. That's me speaking in front of UAC back a couple years ago. I had a top rated podcast called the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast. In fact, this podcast was all about Facebook ads and how to do lead generation and use them to market and grow your business. And it was a huge Facebook podcast, but I actually left that podcast to focus about 2 years ago to focus on the tools and the stuff you're going to see today, which I think is going to blow you away. I also wrote this book called New Patient School, the how-to guide for converting more leads into patients. App, I have a copy right here. You can get it on Amazon, maybe. I don't know. I think you can. And my agency was the only published case study in terms of chiropractic, niche specific cases like spinal decompression, stuff like that. We're the only agency that ever had a published case study by Facebook's business department. And that's a very cool thing. And then of course, I am the co-founder of PatientStream. Some of you know what PatientStream is. Some of you do not. I won't spend a ton of time on that now. We can answer questions later. But PatientStream is basically, instead of an agency facilitating your lead generation as a middleman, we replace the middleman and we automatically find pre-qualified patients in just 3 clicks. And yes, that means new patients for knee as well. All right. So this is where I want to make sure that we start. All right. Again, my goal is to make an outsized change to when you guys leave today, that you leave understanding more than, I can show you the ads. If I just showed you the ads that are working, that would not change your practice. Okay. So I want you to understand a couple of things. So many of you have seen this image like this. And the whole point is success is rarely what you observe. What kind of things do you observe in terms of, hey, I want to grow my practice. I want to get more knee patients. What are the things that you observe that seem like the quote special sauce? Okay. Targeting rich people. These are things that we hear from agencies and things like that, meaning, hey, we have a special targeting approach that is proprietary, is this, is that. That's a lie. That is not true. Okay. We can get you more leads than the other person. We get them for you cheaper. We can get you this. Like, oh, that is not what is going to create your success. proven scripts, quick response. We can automate. We can do all that kind of stuff. Those are great, but those are what people see on the surface, and they are not what create the outcome. Here's what really creates outcomes in terms of growing your practice and getting a bunch of new patients. And I'm going to prove this as we go through today's training. Okay. What kind of qualified attention are you getting? So are you getting qualified prospects? That's where you have to start. Are you on purpose? Meaning, do you and the people who work for you, do they understand why you're doing this? Is it to make money? If they think it's all to make money, they're probably not going to be doing as good a job. How good are your results? I was talking with a doc earlier this week, and we were talking about some previous failures he had in his marketing. And based on his responses, based on the things he was saying, I said, what kind of outcomes do you get when people come in for XYZ services? He said, honestly, not as good as I want. I said, that's the problem. Okay. Why? Because you lack belief and certainty. These are the things. Now, at the very beginning of this training, I'm giving you a very wide net to cast on how we're going to achieve success. Okay. The point is this: what matters is always under the surface. It's always what's under the surface. It's not the stuff on top. Okay. And specifically, if I were to tell you what is going to make the biggest difference in your marketing, in your business, it's going to be a combination of these two things. Having a purpose, under both you and your team, understanding why you do what you do, and then having belief and certainty in what you're doing. Okay. The reality is, if you consistently nurture purpose and belief, that will transform your practice almost quicker than anything else. And the funny thing is we're 7 minutes into this training, and I'm already talking about belief and certainty. And so those of you who came today expecting a silver bullet is a triad. There's things that you're going to see in tandem and in combination with this to really make this work. Okay. But before I show you all that cool stuff, I need you to understand where I'm coming from. I'm really interested, always interested in questions starting with why and how. Okay. And the reason is I can give you ads that will generate response. I can give you everything you need to go out, but I can't be in your practice, and I can't identify some of the problems that can arise without you knowing the why and the how. All right, fair enough. Before we get started, I want everybody real quick, at the very bottom of your screen, there's a chat widget. Okay. Just go ahead, give me a hello. You can send it directly to me. You don't have to send it to the group. Hello, I'm here. Tell me where you're at. And just let me know that you're here, and we will get started. I want to make sure you guys, oh, thank you. I want to make sure that you guys are engaged today. Here's our goal. I want to give you, again, a 30,000 foot view. Our goal is to bridge where we're at today, right now, and get us over to a place to where we want to be. So today, right now, some of you may be very successful. I'm not saying that you don't get some of these things, and maybe you're here to learn a couple cool tricks and to learn some things that we're doing that nobody else is doing, and that's great. But some of you are also, you're frustrated. Okay, you need patience. You have no idea what the quote secret is, and you're just tired of this. Every idea you've been pitched has failed. You don't like it. So that's where you're at today. Where we're going is, I want you excited and confident. I want you to see the model that's working right now to get a bunch of knee patients. Okay. And I want you to have a plan. And then when we're all said and done, I want you to be happy and grateful. Know that you can get consistent results and patience and feel like you're in complete control. That is what we're doing. And the way we're going to do it, is with 3 stories. 3 stories. Okay. I could sit here and jibber jabber at you all day. I've been doing that, but I'm really not going to create much education or change until we can all jump on the same sheet of music and really understand what's going, which, by the way, you can use the chat to ask questions. There's only 27 slides in this presentation, and then we're going to jump into Patient Stream, and we're going to see the actual campaigns and how they fit in with this quick masterclass. You can ask questions, you can do all that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, question or story number one. You will not believe what this legendary fisherman can teach you about getting more new patients. This is Captain John Raid. Captain John Raid, as you can see, is a fisherman. He's not a current fisherman. This was taken back probably in the 40s or the 50s. Okay. And he lived in a region of the United States in the Northeast where some of the best, the world's renowned fishing captains congregated. The fishing waters, all the kind of stuff there was the best there really is in the Atlantic Ocean. In fact, the captain who inspired the movie Jaws was from this same area. And with so many incredible fishing captains in this area, everybody, if you ask any one of them, including the Jaws guy, who is, without a doubt, the #1 best fishing captain out of everybody, without a doubt, they would not hesitate and they would say Captain John Raid. Captain John Raid was a hook and reel fisherman. Okay, he did not go out with nets. He did not go out dragging several lines. He would go out with hook and reel and catch his daily limit as a commercial fisherman. And he did this for decades. Okay, you can tell, again, he's not in any fancy, equipment here. This boat's a piece of crap. And he just knew how to fish better than anybody else. And at the end of his career, he was interviewed by a local reporter. Everybody wanted to know, how in the world was John Raid so incredibly successful? But all he did was hook and reel. He had a crappy boat, but he was the most successful fisherman ever. And so when he retired, he was interviewed, and the reporter asked John, "You are the best fisherman. We don't know, nobody knows how you're doing this. Nobody understands what you are doing to catch so many fish. What's your secret?" And he sat and he thought, and he lifted his head and he said, "When fishermen go out to fish, they think like fishermen. When I go out to fish, I think like a fish." Okay? The #1 thing, the place we have got to start in today's journey, in today's paradigm shift, in today's epiphany bridge, is you have to understand that if you're trying to grow your practice with more knee patients, it's going to require that you become obsessed with your prospect, with your prospective knee patients. And you're going to need to take a back seat in terms of talking so much about your product and service. Okay. Nobody cares about your stuff until they know you care. All right. We also need to understand that everybody sees another thing, another person, another service, whatever it is, from their perspective, including your future knee patients. So you need to learn how to see things from their perspective, and you need to be able to push and ignore your perspective, at least for a time being. Okay. It is not serving you to think about how to promote your services, your unique approach from your point of view. Okay. Nobody cares about you until you show them something to care about. Okay. Think like a fish. And that is the first part of this journey. Proper perspective in terms of attracting new patients is #1. That is the starting place. If you break this, everything else will break. Nothing else will work. Okay. That is that is a way to guarantee your success. And by the way, if this is your North Star, if you're always having an obsession over your prospect, you're seeing what kind of comments they put in your ads or on your reviews or in clinic, you're making a note of those, and you're becoming obsessed with their symptoms, situations, that is the mark of a clinic, a business that will always, always, always grow. All right. So bridge your understanding. #1 is having the proper perspective. Think like a fish. Warning signs of future failure. I do a lot of demo calls, consultations, discussions with people who are trying to grow a practice, a business. And I hear things like, listen, I just want you to get me more stem cell patients. Okay. I only want people who have a bunch of money, right? I want to make sure that you do this, the special targeting that I heard somebody talk about that they said they could do. I want to do that. Okay. Or we don't ever do discounts. That's discounting our service. Let me just clue us back really quick to where everything goes off the rails. And that is this: whose perspective are you seeing things from? Okay. Number one, let's go back and make sure that we understand you got to see things from the proper perspective. That's number one. Number two, warning signs of future failure. When people say things like this, do you understand if I could just promote a $9,000 care plan that I would just probably just go in and do this myself? If I'm like, hey, my ads, my automation will do all this, I'm just going to go do this myself. There's a reason I don't. Okay. Here is a secret that you will not know, something that you will not understand. And it's something that will reverse engineer all of these ideas, these fixed ideas of we don't do discounts, only people with money, and get more stem cells, like sell the big thing. This will reverse engineer those ideas away. The secret to sales success is understanding that every sale has two sales. Okay? Let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered how huge, maybe you haven't, but how these huge ships can successfully be moored at port? I mean, that is a massive, massive, massive ship. Okay. And those lines where in this picture, they don't look like, I mean, they look very thin, but in comparison to that massive ship, I can tell you right now, those long lines are incredibly heavy, cumbersome, and awkward. How did they get them from that huge ship down to the pier? Enter the secret of the monkey fist. Okay. In the man's right hand, he's holding what is known as the monkey fist. It's a small, maneuverable, throwable ball attached to a thin cord, thin rope, which is attached to a what's called a heavy line. Okay. All he has to do is take that monkey fist, toss it from the ship down to somebody on the dock, and they can make this easy thing, this monkey fist, which is easy to throw, dock this massive, huge ship. Okay. The secret of the monkey fist. How does this apply to you? What it is the central theme of every piece of marketing that we do at PatientStream. Okay. In other words, our strategy always seeks to sell the easy thing that will then in turn sell the big thing. Okay. So if you're trying to sell a huge stem cell case, okay, I know you want to sell these 9,000 amazing huge knee cases. You're not just going to go out and find people off the street and say, hey, stem cell therapy, let's rock and roll. Maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, when nobody knew about stem cell therapy. But now that everybody knows and everybody offers it, you're hosed. You need a better strategy. Cool. Now, we have a library full of proven monkey fist offers for knee, which is what we're going to see today, for neuropathy, for spinal decompression, for all the different conditions that you treat in your practice. Okay. But this is a second pivotal story that you need to understand because it houses the strategy that makes all of the wheels turn. Okay. If we talked about the first strategy being a proper perspective, that also lends to this monkey fist strategy. We want things, easy things to sell that are of interest to those people that we're trying to sell them to. Okay. So bridge your understanding, have the proper perspective, have a actual sales strategy that makes selling, getting new customers easy. Okay. Again, if you go out in the streets and you try and sell $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 care plans straight away, hey, we help people with these huge problems. Good luck. You're not going to get very many people. Okay. You need a monkey fist. You need something simple to sell that then in turn sells the big thing. And we're going to see examples of this in terms of knee pain really soon. All right. So that is story number 2. Story number 3 is the story of Dr. Ray Pevey. And I'm going to hit play real quick. We're going to hear a 1-minute excerpt from a 45-minute interview that I did with Dr. Pevey. Let's go ahead and listen.
Within about maybe 2.5 months, we doubled the practice.
And about how long did it take you to go from 100 visits up to where you're at right now, about 200?
We started mid-December. Granted, there was a learning curve with the system for pretty much the first 6 weeks.
Okay.
It really wasn't until the tail end of January that I saw this climb. Every week we were breaking a record, breaking record. And so by about probably early March, late February, right around there, we were starting to get ready to crack the 200 visit per week.
Right.
So when we started in December of 2020, we were around about roughly 90 to 105 patients a week on the average. So you take that, go to January, February, within about maybe 2.5 months, we doubled the practice.
Awesome. That's exciting. I know those stories are fun to see, and you're thinking, man, I want that to be me. And I get it. Here's what's cool about this. Dr. Pevey doubled his practice with this ad, this single ad that you're seeing on your screen right now. This one ad doubled his practice in 2.5 months. So it's pretty cool. But I want you to understand something. Dr. Pevey almost did not save his practice. There's a little bit of context that you're missing. Okay. When Dr. Pevey found Patient Stream, this was in the midst of the pandemic in Arcadia, California, which, I mean, can you imagine? There's a pandemic. It's in California, which everybody knows they're very light on all of their, regulations anyway. And so he sees his practice go from 180 visits down to 80. This guy's been in practice for a long time. Okay. And he started with Patient Stream. I don't know if he looked at it as a Hail Mary, but I think in a way it was. When he signed up for Patient Stream, I didn't understand that's what it was. That's what it was to him. But his first month and a half, you heard him say the first 6 weeks, and later on in the interview, we talked more about what was happening in that 6 weeks. And I think that you guys need to know what happened in that 6 weeks. I think that holds the secret. And this is why this is a story in this training. That holds the secret to what's really going to create an outsized, an asymmetric impact in your practice. Okay. In the location where the pandemic hit him hard, and his practice was shrinking. His first 6 weeks were incredibly rough. He said to me, he goes, we were getting a lot of leads, but not many patients. And then one day, this was the day that changed everything for Dr. Pevey, and it's going to change everything for you. One day he was walking by the front desk, and he could tell that she was talking on the phone with a lead from Facebook. And he said, "Is that a Facebook lead?" She said, "Yes." He goes, "Can you put that person on, transfer them to my phone? I want to talk to them real quick." Dr. Pevey got on the phone with that person, did a quick 3-minute consultation. The patient showed up the very next day and converted to a $4,500 care plan within 24 hours. He was blown away. He was absolutely blown away. And in a 6-week time frame, which I'm sure felt like an eternity to him, he saw all of everything in the 6 weeks. And then in a 24-hour time frame, everything seemed possible, seemed probable, seemed, well, I can do this again. And so he did, over and over again. And you heard him in the video. He said, week after week, we were breaking records. Okay. So he started doing it over and over, and what ended up happening, like I said, was it grew his practice quickly. Now, here's what's interesting about this whole story. We didn't change anything about the ads. No targeting changes, no creative changes, no nothing. They were working. We have a formula that we've used, that we've proven to work. And so if somebody says that's not working, I say, you're wrong. I've proven it to work. And so we didn't change anything. But his result was so stark. It was so night and day that honestly, it haunted me. His change was so dramatic and so quickly. I wanted to know what made the difference. Nothing changed about our marketing. We know it works. What happened to make all the difference? And then one day I was listening to this podcast, and I actually do 1 hour of education every single day. I listen to a podcast, I read a book, well, usually those. And so I'm listening to this podcast, and it's a podcast where it's actually Alex Hormozy, awesome entrepreneur. And he was talking about sales calls and training a sales team. And he said, the one thing that nobody understands is that every conversation has two simultaneous dialogues. Here's the two simultaneous dialogues. Okay. On the one hand, you have the words that are in your script. You have a framework. You have a way you conduct every call you do. Okay. A lot of them start out with build relationship of trust, identify the need, ask questions, deep dive, transition, close. That's the framework. Okay. And people who are very good at sales scripts and things like that make things like this work really easily. But what's really interesting is the words and the script are surface level tactics. And honestly, in what is medical marketing, it might work in car sales or other stuff, but when you're talking about people, their emotional well-being, a lot of these things, these are just words, and the way you say them matters. The other thing is tone and cadence of the words that you say. And that happens based on the level of belief and certainty that you have. So what I did, once I heard this podcast, it's like a light bulb went on. And I said, oh my gosh, every conversation I've ever heard, and I can record these conversations and I can listen to what staff are saying. They follow the scripts that are in new patient school. I give it to everyone. I don't care. I want you to have them. I want you to have the tools to win. We both win if you win. Everybody follows the script, but not everybody has the belief, the certainty, and the empathy that create an authentic tone and cadence where that person says the words they're saying and the way they're saying them make me believe. And I can tell you right now, without a shadow of the doubt, that what you say is secondary to how you say it. So the question, the big resounding question is, do your staff, do your team, do you believe in what you're doing? Do you actually believe in what you're doing? If you do not, fix it. This is the most important thing that you can do. You will do better training and get more outcomes by focusing on your staff and their belief in what you do, telling them about your reviews, telling them about your testimonials than anything else. Show them what they're doing and tell them that they have a purpose and they have a reason to do this. This is the special sauce. This is the secret. Okay. Conviction belief. Okay. Proper perspective, a strategy to get new people in, conviction and belief to tell them, to convey, to transfer your belief from you to them. That's all sales is a transfer of belief from one person to the other. Okay. That's the special sauce. That's what I want you to know. That's what, if we did nothing else today, if we turn this off right now, if we stopped, that's all I want you to think about. Proper perspective. Think like them. Think like a fish. Sales strategy. Do something for them. Sell the thing that makes the other big thing easy to sell. Then conviction and belief in what you're doing. That is it. That is the big, those are the macro components. Those are the levers that are going to change the way you grow your business. And every successful knee practice that I've seen understands, they may not frame them this way, but they understand This is what it takes to explode your new patients for knee or anything else. All right. So that is the training. That is the perspective. That is everything. I want to jump into the library, but I also want to just take a minute to pause. I know like you guys can't get on with audio. If you have questions, grab the chat. Okay. Grab the chat. Let me know. I'm going to go ahead and while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. And we'll jump into patient stream so we can see this library of campaigns. All right. So this is actually not a clinics account. This is patient stream. So this is a demo or a dummy account rather. So we'll go ahead and jump into this so you guys can see what's working. I'm going to go ahead and pull the chat up here. I guess first and foremost, can you guys see patient stream's dashboard? Is that what you're seeing on your screen? Please let me know in the chat. I'm going to take a drink real quick. Okay, and can you still see me, Missy? Can you see my video? Hello, Missy. Okay, all right, great. So as you can see, so if you're a patient stream user, we're going to show you some of the top producing offers in terms of knee pain. We're going to show you the monkey fist. We're going to show you all that cool stuff. If you have other questions, we can certainly do that here. And by the way, if you're not a patient stream user, in just a minute, I will put resources so you can ask questions, schedule a demo, whatever afterwards. Okay, chiropractic clinics. So actually, let me go back. So as you can see, everything is structured by categories. So in terms of where our knee stuff is, it's between chiropractic stuff and regenerative. That's pretty much it. Okay, chiropractic. So our number one producer in terms of our number one monkey fist is going to be found in decompression. Now you're thinking, well, spinal decompression, that has nothing to do with knee pain. Well, knee decompression does. Okay. So here is the offer. Now you're like, well, what do the ads look like? What does the copy look like? Slow your roll. We don't need the ads and the copy. We need the monkey fist. We need to understand the monkey fist. What is the best monkey fist for knee patients? Knee decompression. Okay. And here's why. When I first learned about knee decompression, we were doing stem cell marketing. And like I said, 3 or 4 years ago, stem cell marketing was easy. You just put non-surgical solutions to knee pain, get a consultation. And that would work because nobody knew what it was. So your primary driver of advertising is what? Curiosity. So people had a lot of innate curiosity around this. So that created action. But now that everybody knows, you can't use those moves. A tactic known is a tactic blown, my friends. You cannot use stem cell marketing. That's not going to work unless you have a huge brand. If you have amazing brand, tons and tons and tons of reviews, maybe then. Okay. But we want a monkey fist because we want, we want 5 to 10 new patients a week. That's what we want. Okay. So what do? We got to see things from there. We got to think like a fish. We got to show them something that is demonstratable. We got to say, hey, why don't you come in and try some knee decompression therapy, which by the way, now I will say this, and if you've been on a call with me, I am agnostic to your treatment protocol. So many of you have awesome, amazing approaches to treating knee pain, whether it's injections, knee decompression, trigenics, PRP injections, whatever, PT, whatever it is. I don't care as long as you're getting the outcomes. Okay. But what this does is you can say, hey, knee decompression is awesome. But if you want to see what's really awesome, we can actually restore function to your knee with our whole knee restoration protocol. This is just a small part. Would you like to learn more about that? Monkey fist. Boom. Love it. Okay. We have a 197 version as well. I like this one. This R means recommended. So this is the go-to. Okay. This is the go-to. If you've been doing it, or if you're like, hey, this is my first venture into patient stream and you want to try a higher price point, 197 can work. It works in certain demographics. It's worth a test. Okay. There you go. Let's see here. Yeah, nothing else in that one. Okay, so that's number one is knee decompression. Number two is, it's not laser, it's shockwave, pulse wave. Okay. The same framework is going to work. Again, okay, we're positioning the shockwave therapy, this new, what I call a unique mechanism as the monkey fist. They come in, they test drive it, they love it. So one pulse wave knee treatment for $47. We have the same thing for shockwave. Now, I will say this, soft wave therapy. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, the shockwave therapy. I understand. But one thing that soft wave has done that's absolutely incredible and that I cannot do is they've created videos that demonstrate the treatment and then demonstrate the reaction. If you want amazing content, any of your videos, stop talking to the camera. In fact, here's a challenge. Any YouTube video, any video you create, tell the doctor or the whoever it is not to talk. No speaking for the doctor. The only speaking that can be had is questions to the patient. Hey, so-and-so, tell me how your knee pain feels. Oh, it feels like this. Okay, let's do shockwave therapy for you. You hear it, you see it. And then, hey, so-and-so, how do you feel now? They're walking. Don't tell people with words, show them with their eyes. This thing crushes it. If you have a soft wave device, we are absolutely delivering crazy results for soft wave. It's crazy. And if you have videos that are like the ones we have for soft wave for your device, we can make that work too. But I am blown away. Actually, I've done a research, Google's, ask vendors, people, either the other devices, I'm not saying this, either the other devices don't work as well, and so they don't get those reactions, or they just haven't taken the time to get those videos. So there you go. All right, chiropractic clinics. Oh, we showed you soft wave. We already did that. Let's go back to templates. And then the next thing is regenerative medicine. So we got knee here. Now, these are not, I'm showing you these not because I recommend these. We have these available. These can work in some situations and in some demographics. In an area like maybe a retirement community in Florida where people are very, I mean, it says long copy, right? People are very, they like to read about their stuff. If you have something that produces very well in newspaper, that's an indication that this could work well for you. But honestly, our monkey fist offers are so good. Just use those and don't even think about it. All right. So I want to go through real quick and just show you what you would do in a situation. So let's say you're a patient stream user, or you're a new patient stream user, or you're not a patient stream user. You're like, hey man, how does this work? You click on decompression. You go to the recommended campaign, which we choose, click on that. We then leave it as lead form. We put in our daily budget. Okay. You put in your website, which there we go. We put in a website. You say, well, what's the best radius for this? You click on, well, I've got I live in Boise, Idaho. I'm going to go with a 6-mile targeting radius, and you click launch campaign. Now, this is a dummy account. If I click this, it'll really launch campaign. But basically what you're doing, and what I told you we did at the very beginning of this, is we're cutting out the middleman, the agency. I'm telling you, you can turn this campaign on. It'll outproduce the results you're getting elsewhere. And you did it in that many steps. That's how easy it is. Let's go ahead and do it one more time. And by the way, if you have questions, feed them to me. Okay. Decompression. Let's say we're going to do a sciatica one. That video one looks awesome. We're going to do $40 a day. That's my minimum recommendation. You can spend more if you want to get more, which I think is a good idea. Launch campaign. Done. All right. This has been a 39-minute masterclass, which is funny because a lot of my workshops are an hour, and then we do a Q&A for 30 minutes. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stop right now. I'm going to go ahead and redirect my camera to this next screen, or not my camera, but my screen. So I'm looking more at you guys. What questions do you have, if any? Has this been helpful for you? We've got quite a few attendees. And just so you know, this particular, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. If you're watching this on replay, I did tell you on the registration page that I was not going to do replays. However, I had enough of our customers and people who are interested that really, wanted to see this. So what I'm going to do to kind of make both of us happy is I'm going to stop the recording. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and field any questions from you guys. Okay. So the question is, when some of our offers offer 2 trial sessions, when do we recommend the close? How does the framework of that work? Well, first of all, I really like the framework of 2 offers. 1, the value is great. 2, what it does is it gets them in. And the way I always tell docs to position this, and even to tell the patient, okay, patient Smith, this first visit is for you. We want you to understand that this is something different. We want you to feel how this works. Okay. The second visit is for me, because between your first visit and your second visit, I'm going to be measuring a few things and observing you to see if you qualify for care. Now, many people do, but some do not. And I don't want to make any recommendations where we can't, stand by what we're doing. So that's why we do 2 visits. That is the close. And then obviously you're going to do the close after you said, based on what we observe, your findings, we think you're a perfect fit. So here's the next steps. And then you take them through the financials. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause again. Just again, I love the engagement we're getting. So thank you guys. All right, the Q&A is over, everybody, on the replay. Thank you so much. If this has been valuable for you, there will be somewhere here a place where you can schedule a demo, mypatientstream.com/demo. If you want to, mypatientstream.com/demo. You can also reach out to me personally, sam@mypatientstream.com. I hope this has been very valuable for you. Look forward to doing another one of these. We have one coming up next week. And then I try and do about 2 of these per month. And that's the goal anyway. You know how goals go. We're going to do our best. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See ya.